All right, guys, welcome to the show. We got an exciting one here for you. We're talking 5 fantasy football 2021 sleepers at the wide receiver position. Yes, we're diving in super early here. I'm not wearing my hat. I know I'm in here wearing my Jonathan Taylor shirt, even though the Colts are out of the playoffs. But hey, you know what? Got to support those Colts. So I got an exciting one here. We're talking the wide receivers because we got to deep dive and look at the wide receiver position. It's a very deep class. You can wait on wide receiver, and there's going to be a ton of value at this position this year. You don't have to invest in a wide receiver early. Like I told you, you didn't have to do it last year as well. So we're going to deep dive into 5 sleepers right now. Early January, guys. We're just having some fun here, laying out some early wide receiver talk. Before I get in the show, guys, head on over to manscaped.com. Get your lawnmower 3.0 trimmer. Use promo code SHOWERLION. Save yourself 20%. Amazing product. And get the 16-round drafts, which I've linked it here below. Make sure you guys secure it. Right now, it's going to help you guys crush your leagues. And my first release of it, you can pre-order now at the lowest price. You can get into the course. My first actual release of 60 rounds is going to be a week after the draft. So make sure you guys secure it for the lowest possible price. And check out Fantasy 365 below as well. Let's get to it, guys. 5 wide receiver sleepers. Very early talk right now. Let's get to it.
Taking off the gloves, I've had enough. It's in my blood. I was born for this.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. We're talking wide receiver sleepers. I got 5 of them here for you. Going to rip through them, explain why I like them and why people are sleeping on them. And I got the Concheapsis rankings right now in front of me as well. Going to go over that with you and talk about how terrible their rankings are and how cookie cutter they are and how bad they are as per usual. And I don't just mean to talk about the Concheapsis all the time, but it's just these are the rankings that are out there on a mainstream level, whether you're at a grocery store, looking at a magazine. It's just kind of this format that the mainstream has, and we're going to break that this year, guys. We're going to break the Concheapsis. This is the year where Council Nation takes over and gives you real advice to actually help you guys win your leagues, because I want you guys to win your leagues, okay? So 5 wide receivers that I think are going to be sleepers this year that you get for value. I'm going to add to this. We're going to do 10 receivers. We're going to see, and again, this really falls on the draft. So once I find out the draft results and the depth chart start falling into play, then I have a better idea as to who you should be picking up, right, when 16 rounds is laid out. Now, if you haven't gotten 16-round draft solution, the link is below. Like I said, get it, secure it for the lowest possible price. I give you all the optimal players drafted in each round. And again, this is laid out after the draft, a week after the NFL draft. This is completely laid out, but you can pre-order now. All right, guys, get it below. You're going to absolutely love it. And if you want to join the community, Fantasy 365, I'm creating this amazing community. Get in there now. You're going to have a membership login. It's a year-long membership. Get in right now. You're going to absolutely love it, okay? So, first wide receiver I like here that people are going to be sleeping on, and he is currently sitting 24th on the consensus Concheapsis rankings. The guy I'm talking about is Deontay Johnson. Now, this could also come into play for Claypool. Not sure what they're going to do with Juju. A lot of this stuff I don't really lay out till after the NFL draft, and I see what happens with the free agency, the contract agreements, all that stuff. We're going to know better once the draft is done. Once I know that, then I can lay it out properly. But right now, my initial thought is I really, really like Deontay Johnson. Now, he was dropping the ball quite a bit last year. We understand that, but he started picking it up near the end of the season, which is a really, really good sign. So Deontay Johnson, what I really like about him is that he was 6th in targets with 144. So clearly Big Ben likes him. So he's a sleeper that I want to target this year. I may also do the same thing I did last year, get both Deontay and Claypool. Now, if Juju gets shipped off, this is a really, really good thing, because what's going to happen is that's going to be a ton of freed up targets to 2 guys that have that rapport with Big Ben. So these are 2 guys I absolutely love. When you look at it from a volume perspective, Deontay had 144 targets, Claypool 109, Juju 128. That 128 needs to come off Juju and go to real receivers like Claypool and Deontay. I can't take Juju seriously. He's not that good. He plays around. He's TikTok and he's joking around. That's just not the player I want, not the work ethic I want on my team particularly. And this is a guy that the mainstream told you, draft him in the 2nd or 3rd round last year. I said, stay away from Juju. They've got Claypool and Deontay. They've invested a high pick in Claypool. You know, Deontay's the guy that's going to step up this year. Do not draft Juju. And sure enough, I was right. I hope you guys stayed away from Juju. He finished 16th amongst wide receivers. Didn't fall where his ADP was. So, again, did okay, but not to where his ADP was, which was 2nd or 3rd round. I personally don't like Juju. Again, I think Deontay is going to probably be the guy, or Claypool. They're going to take a step up this year. And I don't know. I wouldn't pay Juju to come back on if I was the Steelers. You've got good talent at wide receiver. Maybe draft another rookie. Ship Juju off, because I think he's due for an agreement, contract agreement soon. Take a look at that. But Deontay's my first sleeper that I think could be good, and Claypool as well. Right now, Deontay, I believe, is sitting 24th, like I said, on the Consheeps' rankings. Very low. Claypool even lower. He thinks he's sitting at 31st amongst the Consheeps' rankings, okay? Do not listen to this sheep if you want to win your league. 16 rounds is where it's at. It's the standard, okay? Second guy here is Cooper Kupp. Now, Cooper Kupp currently sitting 24th on the consensus rankings, a guy that the mainstream will be sleeping on. Remember the whole copy and paste mentality? You can take last year's top finishers and I'm going to tell you that you're going to draft them in that order. So they're going to pick your guys like Calvin Ridley. Now, here's what makes me sick with the wide receivers in the mainstream when they're looking at wide receivers. Let's talk about 2020 real quickly. Let me take you back into time, and I warned you against this. Godwin had finished ahead of Evans in 2019. He had a really good season. I believe he finished second amongst wide receivers in PPR. So the mainstream jumped on it. They all had Godwin ranked ahead of Evans going into the 2020 season. I said, listen, Evans is technically the one. Brady spreads the ball around. I'm personally staying away from both of those guys. Evans ended up finishing 11th amongst wide receivers, which is good, not bad. And Godwin well below that. Where did Godwin finish? 21st. The reason they had Godwin ahead of Evans is because the year before he finished in 2019, Godwin finished ahead of Evans. So they're like, oh, Godwin's got to be better than Evans. So we're starting to see the same thing happen yet again. Calvin Ridley finished 5th amongst wide receivers. Julio was hurt, so he was well below that. I don't know how far low he was. Where did Julio finish? He was well down below. Check it out. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is currently right now, Ridley's ranked 4th. Julio's ranked 8th. So the similar thing is happening. They are, just because Ridley finished on top of Julio, by default, they're saying Ridley's a better receiver than Julio, but Julio was hurt. Now, mind you, I understand that there's more upside with Ridley in this case. I get it, and I kind of see it. But would I invest a higher draft pick into Ridley where I can get a running back then and maybe get Julio later for a value? I'd probably do that, secure a running back there, right? So, again, Julio's still top 10 according to these rankings. But similarly to what happened with Godwin and Evans, I said both these guys will not finish top 10. They've got Ridley and Julio in the top 10. Like, how stupid are these guys? How stupid are these four-letter network a-holes? This has got to stop. This is embarrassing. Did you not learn from before? Did you not learn for ranking Odell Beckham in the first round 3 years in a row, last year in the third round, ADP? Everyone told you. The mainstream said, Odell, first round, draft him. That's what they said 3 years in a row. And in 2020, they said draft him in the third round. They didn't learn their lesson. They're not understanding that Odell is not good. He's overrated. They're not understanding that. So it's about thinking outside the box. That's why 16-round draft solution is the game changer. This is why you're going to crush your leagues, because this is pathetic. This is sad what the Consheeps are doing. This is crazy. I got to go on Instagram and talk about this. I'm doing the fact of the day on Instagram. Make sure you guys are following. It's crazy. So what I'm trying to tell you is that they lied to you. So Cooper Kupp's a guy that I like as a sleeper, believe it or not, because he didn't have the greatest season last year. I like to see his targets go up 124. I think they're going to get their running game involved. I think Akers is going to be more of a threat. They're going to throw more, and they're going to open things up for their receivers. So I need his touchdowns to go up. He only have 3 touchdowns, which means that there is more of a ceiling there. So again, Cooper Kupp finishing 26th in PPR. And guess where he's sitting, guys, in the rankings? 21st. That's where he's sitting. But last year, everybody was on him. So I'm going to pull up 2019. Cooper Kupp, where did Cooper Kupp? How did Cooper Kupp do back in 2019? Let me pull this up here. All right, Cooper Kupp actually was 4th. He finished 4th in fantasy numbers, 270 points in 2019. So he was a top 10 guy. He had a bit of a down year. So you're going to put him at like 24, 21, 20, whatever it is in the rankings? That's embarrassing. Cooper Kupp's elite talent. Okay, I'm not saying that he's going to finish top 10 necessarily. What I'm saying is, though, that he is technically a wide receiver 1 on the team as it sits right now, early 2021, and he's a guy that you get for value. So I'm looking at this thinking like, what the hell, man? They're nuts. All right, let's go through 3 other sleepers. So we've got Claypool and Deontay. I'm going to just say Deontay there. Cooper Kupp. Next guy is T. Higgins. Now, I love T. Higgins as a guy that I had on all my teams last year. I had him on all my teams as a sleeper, a guy I got for absolutely free. And when I say free, like he wasn't going undrafted. And then people realized, oh, well, yeah, Burrow's not bad. AJ Green's not that good. He finished 28th amongst wide receivers. This guy was like 80th on the consensus rankings, okay? Had 108 targets. We want to see that go up. He had 6 touchdowns. He's a young budding star that I really like this year. So when you look at T. Higgins, is a guy that will be an absolute steal in all drafts. and a healthy Joe Burrow, and he's working on rehabilitation and coming back, this could be special. It could be, okay? So Higgins coming back. I know Boyd's there. I understand, but I'm talking sleeper here. I'm talking a guy you can get like for value that has that upside, okay? Another guy. Another guy is Keenan Allen, currently sitting 16th on the consensus rankings. Ended up finishing 12th, so kind of copy-paste there. What I like about Allen is he has proven to me that he has been finishing years. He has been staying relatively healthy, knock on wood. So I like him because I like the Herbert factor. I'm a big Herbert fan. I think the upside and ceiling is huge. I invested in a couple of his sports cards. I'm a Herbert guy. Mark, sign me up for the Herbert train. I think he gets better. I think the team gets better. I think they need a true running back. I don't think that Eckler's a solution. He's not a full workhorse running back. As I said last year, and he came into my comments and said, explain. I said, you're not a full workhorse running back, and he gets hurt because he hasn't played. He's been a backup. Once a backup, always a backup. Okay, same thing with Kenny and Drake. These guys are, the ministry was telling you to draft these guys first round. End of first round. That's insane. Kenny and Drake was a backup for Miami for years. He has no business being in the first round of fantasy. Not to mention, you're talking, what's his name? I'm just talking about Eckler and the other guy, Eckler. He was back up to Melvin. If he was better, if he was good, he would have passed Melvin Gordon because Melvin Gordon's not that good. Like, why don't you understand this? It makes no sense. Think. So I like Keenan Allen. I like him as a sleeper. I think he's going to be decent value compared to the other guys like your Diggs, your Hills, your Adams, Hopkins, guys like that. And, Jefferson, another guy. I got him for a steal. He was going undrafted. I was like, guys, draft Jefferson. There's a void there. The talent is there. Now everybody's riding the Jefferson train. Makes me sick. But if you got 16 rounds, you'd be light years ahead of the competition. Come on, guys. Come on. The mainstream's got to go. This is the year. We're taking over. That's enough. All right, let's do this. All right, Keenan Allen. I'm telling you guys, I like him. All right, as of right now, early January. Last sleeper here is Michael Pittman. I think the Colts, I got to put a Colt in there. I think the decline of Hilton is there. I got to see who they bring in. Rivers announcing retirement recently. Rivers retires. Yes, Phillip Rivers has retired. I heard an announcement this morning. They're going to bring in somebody else, whether it's Carson Wentz or somebody. Eason may be a solution. I don't know. I think they're going to bring in someone else. I think that's going to help Hilton. Rivers just wasn't that good. You can debate me on that. I don't think he was good. He didn't discover he had T.Y. Hilton on his team till week 13. Like, I'm looking at it right now. Like, Hilton didn't get any targets. He finally got 8 targets in week 13. So I think Pittman takes a step up. I think the talent is there. The Colts invested an early draft pick in Pittman. I think he takes a step up. Receivers take a little bit time to groom to get up there. And I think Pittman could be the guy. So we're going to have to see what the draft looks like, right? But as of right now, I like him as a sleeper, and I think whoever comes in with the Colts is going to help Michael Pittman succeed. That's a little bit of a deeper sleeper, right? But a guy that I had to mention. And there's more. So make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be doing a whole slew of sleepers, breakouts, deep sleepers, a lot of information here on the channel at every position. But if you want all the answers in one spot, get the 16-round draft solution. Literally, it's going to save you time watching videos. It's going to save you time watching the Conchiefs, buying magazines. And I priced it so that everybody can get it. Okay? Get 16 rounds. It's going to be amazing this year. Okay? TheFantasyFootballCouncil.com. And subscribe, leave a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys being here. Those are 5 wide receiver sleepers for you. Don't always believe the mainstream hype. You can always load up on running backs, get a ton of depth at wide receiver this year. Okay, guys? Smash thumbs up. Let me know what sleeper you like this year in the comments below. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. I'm out.